Lost for words. I'm 35, married to Troy, 36, for 4 years now. We met 7 years ago through my friend Sarah, 34. Troy and Sarah work together. Sarah invited me to meet her for happy hour on a Friday afternoon. She said some of her coworkers were coming. I was like, okay, that sounds fun. Needless to say, I didn't know that I was going to meet my future husband that day. That early evening, I met Troy, who was Sarah's coworker. Troy introduced himself to me, and we hit it off right away with great conversation. The next day, Sarah called me and asked if she could give Troy my phone number. I was like, sure. Of course, I asked her a few questions about him, and she reiterated that he was a great guy. Troy called me the following day and asked me out to dinner. Troy and Sarah must have talked for a while because he offered to take me to my favorite restaurant. He was a complete gentleman, and again, the conversations never ended. Needless to say, after that, we spent a lot of time together after that date. We met each other's families and did a couple vacations together. Both of us fell completely in love with each other. It was an amazing year. We were 18 months into our relationship, and he planned a trip to Mexico. We went with Sarah and her boyfriend Mike at the time. One night we were on the beach walking, and he got down on one knee and proposed to me. Of course I said yes, and I was overjoyed, to say the least. We had an amazing wedding with 220 people. I felt like I was in a movie. I thought we had the perfect marriage. We tried for a year to have a child, but the stars never aligned, and we were okay with that. We were living a great life in our brand new home. We worked hard and enjoyed life to the fullest. We were gone on vacation a few times a year and weekend getaways. I felt like the luckiest girl in the world. I had a great man who absolutely loved me. My job has me traveling a handful of times a year. Troy had no problem with that, and we always talked at the end of the workday and before we fell asleep. Saturday was his birthday, and I had a surprise weekend getaway planned. I didn't tell Troy that I changed my flight and coming home early. I had a car service drop me off at my house, and there was a strange car in the driveway. I really thought nothing about it. He's probably playing golf with the coworker. But to my surprise, there was a woman in my kitchen in her panties. I stood there in complete shock for about 10 seconds, and it felt like an hour. She looked at me and said, "I am so sorry, I am so sorry." I was speechless, and the only words that came out of my mouth is, "Where is Troy?" She responded that he's in the shower. I told the woman that it's time for her to leave now. She nodded her head, agreed, and went to my bedroom to grab her clothes and left. I sat on my couch with disbelief and wasn't sure if I wanted to kill somebody or just sit there and cry. I went upstairs after the AP left. Troy came out of the shower and obviously was very surprised to see me. I looked at Troy and told him I don't know what's going on, but I know that we are over. I explained to him that I will be filing for divorce and there's no chance of saving us. His response was, "I am so sorry." I explained to him that no words will change things, and I can't believe this is happening. I sat there, cried, and said, "Please tell me this is a nightmare." I told him to get dressed and leave because I am packing clothes to leave and I don't want to look at you. How dare you sleep with another woman in our house? I packed my bag for the weekend and I called Sarah and we did the getaway. Sarah was my rock. She couldn't believe this. I drank all weekend long, and thank God Sarah was there with me. Monday morning, I contacted a divorce attorney and met with him that afternoon. This week, he served with divorce papers. I talked with Troy briefly and explained to him that I will be getting my stuff out of the house throughout the week. I told him I will text him when I'm told him I will text him when I am coming there, and to please don't be there. I'm still lost for words and never want to see him ever again. Come to find out, the AP was one of the bartenders from the golf course he plays at. Sarah dug up the information. Sarah also told Troy to never speak to her again unless it was work-related. I'm crushed and have no clue how all this happened. We had the perfect marriage and great life. Before people start asking, we had a very active sex life. We would be anywhere from 3-5 times a week. Neither one have had any reasons to look elsewhere for that. Thank you for reading my venting story.